if we're doing this on a 10-point scale, I would honestly, from first go around, I would personally give this a solid in my heart. Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and this is gonna be an Invincible review of Amazon Prime's Invincible series season 1. Spoiler alert, just so that way you know. Oh man. Okay, so let me give a straight up honest review of the Invincible. So I haven't read the actual comic. Oh, my first introduction was the fight between Omni-Man and the Guardians of the Globe. And I saw that and I was like, yo, what in the world? Like, yo, I was like, whoa, I never see like superheroes get wrecked so viciously and just at a random time. The way that they set it up, oh my goodness. But that's how I was originally introduced to it. And still even then I was kind of given some time because I got a life. And so it was only 8 episodes, and so I was just like, okay, cool, I'll do like 2 or 3 a day, something like that. And personally, I love how realistic they made it as far as to responsibility. There was some real moments in this freaking series, and of course, you got the classic Think Mark Think as far as where Omni-Man and Invincible, that was amazing. But the real aspects that I liked about it is kind of some of the things that people didn't quite like about it. For example, some people did not like Amber, and they thought she was, this and that, and they thought she was messed up. Again, spoilers. They thought that she was messed up because she had knew that he was invincible, but still, dumped him during that time and everything like that. But personally, I liked it because you have to think about the reasoning that she gave. And honestly, the same thing that, as far as the reasoning that she gave, was kind of the same thing that Adam Eve was saying, and it's kind of the same thing as far as that his dad was saying. You're going to have to find a balance and figure it out. And I think that touched on such a reality of right now, because you think that things are all glittery and this, and this, but look, there is a reality. It is not all peachy keen, and just because you have good intentions doesn't mean that you could kind of like slack off and let it go into the wayside. An interesting thing with Invincible's character that I like, and even though I haven't read the comic as far as in its full-fledged aspect, I did go and read a couple of issues as far as further down the line in the storyline. And then there was a YouTube video talking about Odessa raping freaking Invincible and everything like that. And I'm just all like, oh, what in the world? But again, that aspect that happened within there, and when you read on as far as the comic and you find out there's an interaction between Eve, that woman Anessa, Omni-Man, and Invincible, and Invincible was just like, she didn't like make me like do anything. I don't know if that's like a reoccurring theme as far as with the main character Mark, and things just him being in situations where it's all like you seem helpless. Now, against his father, it's freaking Omni-Man. He just got his powers. There was no way in any reality that he was gonna he was gonna win that fight. Even Cecile was just all like, yo, the only thing we can do is hope that Mark lasts long enough for us to get there pretty much, or like to get through to him. And that's pretty much what he did, So I thought that that was very, very interesting. The role of the the heroes themselves I thought was very, very interesting as far as their names, the relationships between everyone. I thought that that was very, very interesting. And me personally, I like these short seasons, it being a couple of episodes and then boom, getting off into the next season. Me personally, I think that that builds enough hype and momentum for people who didn't see the first season, for them to be able to see the first season. And it's this level of working hard, smarter, not harder. When you look at, and a lot of people may be like, I want something I can, dive into and different things like that. But personally, I feel like what this did was I never knew about the comic, so this makes me dive into the comics. So you dive into the comics, and that way when season 2 is out, now hopefully, they've gained more people that know about the story, because this may be a combination of people who have never seen Invincible as far as read the comics, and people who have, and so I'm curious to see that conversion rate of people who like comic book sales and views after, as far as this series. The pacing I thought was really, really good. I think that in the way that I like to take on things, I feel like, for one, having all the episodes ready to go in the season, I think is super amazing. And then having it so short is super amazing. So I definitely like that. When it comes to the animations and everything like that, I thought that it was really dope. There was really no complaints when it comes to the animation or I mean, personally, it was really, really good. It reminded me a lot of, and it might be the same creators, but it was like a mix between a Batman animated series and like Venture Bros. Meets, I don't know, Quentin Tarantino or something, because that joke was super, super violent, but it's cartoon violence, and it was just like, man. I just like the fact that it was so much reality inside of it. Did Omni-Man go to the extreme as far as in showing Mark the reality? RIP to all those people and everything like that. But personally, it's hard to even say. It was like, I don't even know. Like, do they have therapy for superheroes? For real, I might do like some therapy for superhero skits. Leave a comment if you would like to see some skits on that, because I'm actually, I don't even know how Mark is even sane after that subway scene. That scene was so intense. I was like, whoa. Like, even now, just thinking about it, I'm like, ooh. The good thing I like about this is that if I want, I can definitely go back and, view the whole thing again. But personally, like, I like I like the fact that I seen the whole thing, and now from here I can go and look at reviews, or I could look at top videos and everything like that, and it can kind of recalibrate. Like, I don't have to watch the whole thing again, but I like the fact that, if I wanted to, it's a good, digestible thing. Another thing that was interesting is that you can kind of see, even without reading the comic, as far as the kind of relationship bubbling up between Adam, Eve, and Mark. So that's very, very interesting. And, I thought that after looking at a couple of issues of the comic, I did find it interesting that they swapped out Amber as far as color wise. I thought that was really, really dope. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And y'all people who are trying to look for something as far as with, because I'm that way as well. Like, I definitely want to see more color and different things like that. But do not, when the future seasons come out, don't be saying anything, because it's not a race thing. And if you read the comics, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not going to be a race thing. Like I said, now that I've seen season 1 and I've looked at a lot of the storylines and different things with characters, it's going to be interesting as far as the viewers, whether that's season 2 or 3 or 4, I'm not really sure how they're gonna really do that, because where this is happening that I'm talking about is like issue 40, something like that. So I'm not sure if the episodes are going directly with the comic. I like the fact that they're able to switch a couple of things up. Like, I think Shrieking Ray in the comic book is a male, so I thought that was interesting, and I'm curious to see how that ends up playing out. So who knows? Like, I want to go back and read it from the beginning and just see how many things they end up switching up. But that particular switch up, as far as with Amber, there's really no complaints on that. Like I said, and plus the actress Zazie Beetz, big old crush on her. So yeah. So I thought that was cool. I like the fact that they were able to put in, just the different layers. Mark himself is biracial. So that's super, super dope. There's I definitely liked how at the end, as far as the end of episode 8, how in the season finale it kind of planted the seeds to a lot of different storylines. Like, realistically, I would be curious, because they could, like, honestly, they really could. I would be curious to see Invincible go the route of Marvel when it comes to, like, originals and, like, miniseries. For example, the series that follows Titan, and now his new position in that area of life, or the mini series as far as Omni-Man, where he went, or even the before Omni-Man came to Earth type of thing. That would be really cool. They can even do like a pre-crawl as far as to Invincible with the Guardians of the Globe, and they can have mini series based around that. I mean, even if they wanted to, they could do a little mini series on the Mueller twins. Oh, speaking of that, I thought that was so dope as far as their concept of cloning, as far as the Mueller twins, and then with that transfer with Robot. I thought that was very, very dope. It didn't click to me, and it was funny because as I was looking at it, I was sitting up there like, why does this little boy look familiar? And it didn't click to me that it was Rex, basically, and it was his DNA, and I'm just sitting up there like, You know, and of course the clues was there. I still don't, without reading the comic, I'm not so sure still yet on Robot, because he's a freaking genius, and just the fact on what he went through in order to get his body just shows as far as his potential. You know, it's almost like his self-interest versus, you know, what's inherently good or bad. I don't know. So that was very, very interesting. And as I was thinking of that, it made me think about old dude, the demon. That was very, very interesting. I hope that, I mean, even if they did a mini series as far as him and he's doing little, you know, detective stuff, you know, I know that that was probably my only gripe, was the fact that they maybe did too good of a job. And let me explain. They might have done too good of a job because the characters that were there was just all like, they made them so dope that you kind of wanted the dope more to have them stick around. Like that, you know, demon dude. I thought he was a very interesting character, and even just the concept of him was really, really dope. It's very dope. Personally, I would recommend it, not for kids. For real. Hey, y'all kids got y'all stuff. But if you're 8, 17 and up, then for sure, definitely pop this baby in, and it's good. Personally, I love the fact that this came out on Amazon Prime, due to the fact that I have Amazon Prime for shipping and everything like that. So it's just cool. I don't have to get like another thing or anything like that, anything extra. So that was cool. All in all, I would give, if I was doing a 10-point ranking system, I'm thinking about fight scenes, I'm thinking about philosophy, I'm thinking about animation, I'm thinking about pacing. If we're doing this on a 10-point scale, I would honestly, from first go around and then looking at a couple of top moments and, you know, different things like that, I would personally give this a solid, in my heart, 8 out of 10. They did do some good jobs, but there definitely was some points that was like, yeah. And, you know, I like that they're able to give this a particular rating, and they didn't need to, even though personally I wouldn't have minded a cartoon titty or two. But they didn't need to. They really did not need to. And that's great, because some things have to rely on that, you know, so I'm glad that that wasn't the case with that. But anyways, this is my Invincible review of Invincible Season 1. Again, this is Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Make sure, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, you can check out my comic. It's a cannabis manga called The Most Random Manga Ever. Link will be in the description. First 4 chapters are out. Next chapter will be out in 2 weeks. And so, yeah, and check out all the goodies. Again, this is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Peace.
Stuffed in this pre-roll, light it up, stress free, let go, stress free, let go, snowed in, composition blend, stuffed in this pre-roll, light it up.